to criminalize the publication of such images online is terrible, terrible thing. So I look forward to signing that bill into law. Thank you. And I'm going to use that bill for myself too, if you don't mind.
Did you catch what he said there at the end?
And I'm going to use that bill for myself too, if you don't mind.
And there you have it, the true reason why he wants to implement this bill. Now, what he's talking about is the Take It Down Act. Now, of course, on the surface, it looks good because it is addressing known exploitation by immobilizing technological deepfakes on websites. And as we can see right here, the First Lady Melania Trump is backing this bill. As we can see here with the article, the Take It Down Act is a bipartisan bill that aims to bolster protections against the non-consensual dissemination of these types of images, and including those generated through artificial intelligence. Please remember this right here. And as we can see down here, during the meeting with Melania Trump and these individuals, she spoke about the risks of AI. And as we can see, AI-generated explicit images are on the rise. As we can see right here, the Take It Down Act would require tech and social media platforms to remove these photos within 48 hours of being notified by a victim. And it criminalizes posting such content. Now, under this bill, people who post such content would face penalties and prison time, and the FTC could also sue tech companies for not complying as an unfair or deceptive act or practice. I think that we can all agree on the surface level that this act looks good. But once again, this is how deception works. And as we just heard from the Golden Dawn, he plans on using this act to go against individuals who make AI photos of himself.
And I'm going to use that bill for myself too, if you don't mind.
Now, this is where discernment is needed to be able to see where there could possibly be an alternative agenda or a deeper motive. So let's just assume that this bill passes and that he signs it into law. So let's just say hypothetically that something happens in the future where some photographs or some videos that are incriminating are released. And let's just say hypothetically that these videos or photographs are incriminating of specific individuals. Well, let's say that does happen. That is where this act comes in, because AI will be the scapegoat. Now, of course, like I said, this is hypothetical and speculation, but if something were to happen in the future where things are presented, AI will be the scapegoat. And through this act right here becoming law, will give the government more power for censorship. And it's also a possibility, if that act is passed into law, that you can say goodbye to these memes right here. Because again, these images right here are AI generated. And people need to understand that once you give the government power, they love to abuse that power. So enjoy these photos when you can now. Now look, I'm not trying to say that I have all the answers and that I know exactly what to do. All I'm trying to do is point out where deception is taking place, because we need to remember the nature of deception. On the surface level, it looks good, but deeper inside at the root, there is something else going on. We also need to remember that the road to hell is paved with good intentions. So yes, with this act, there's good intentions on the surface to protect people where there's horrible things online. No doubt, there's horrible things online. But once this act is implemented into law, you now give the government power to pretty much do whatever they want, whatever they deem AI generated, whatever photo that they deem, breaks this act or bill, then they can take it down, they can censor you. And if you are somebody who made it or posted it, you can now be held liable for persecution, or not just persecution, but going to prison or whatever they are going to do to those individuals who break this law. I feel like it was very telling that Golden Dawn made it clear in his speech that he's going to use this act for himself, telling us straight to our face. Now, in my personal opinion, we are going into uncharted waters where we're not going to know what reality is, what's real and what's fake, because the AI generated photos are becoming so good. You're not going to know truth from lies. That's why it's going to be so important for us to focus our eyes upon the Lord, drawn closer to him, because there's nothing that we can do down here in this world system to change it. What they are going to do, they're going to do, but we can stand firmly on the foundation of Christ, that we can be on guard of deception, that we can be as wise as a serpent, innocent and gentle as a dove, to see their schemes, to understand what they are doing, so that we can then operate around it and sharing the gospel and exposing the darkness and lies. So through this all, take heed that nobody deceives you, understanding how there's always a deeper agenda at play. And this is where your personal relationship with the Lord is really going to come in, because you need to lean upon him for all understanding and wisdom, looking to him for his mind, for his perspective, to take a step back, to look at the bigger picture. This is what Jesus meant by being as wise as a serpent, that we can see the schemes of the enemy, that we can see what their motives are, what their agenda is, what they are trying to bring about through their own deception. But when we take a step back, we can see the bigger picture. So with that, guys, really focus on the Lord. Every ounce of information that you receive from this world, take it to him in prayer, take it to him in meditation, and always question what is the deeper agenda at play. Because it's critical to remember that we do not wrestle with flesh and blood, but against principalities in the heavenly realm, that we war in the spirit, that there's legitimate spiritual principalities trying to deceive us individuals to be sucked into this world. So we, as believers in Christ, soldiers for the Lord, watchmen, we are called to a higher calling of calling out this deception, calling it out for others who are not seeing it, and just sharing the good news and then moving on. Don't beat people over the head with it. Just present the information and then move on. And I cannot stress enough, guys, to work on your heart, though, through it all, that we need all to really draw closer to the Lord with love and peace and grace in our heart, while also exposing the darkness and the lies. It is a juggling act. It is walking a tightrope, no doubt, but that is why Jesus said that the path is narrow and few find it. It's not easy to walk this narrow path because the world is trying to pull you on either side. The enemy is trying to pull so many just operations against us, psychologically and spiritually speaking. But as long as you focus your heart upon the Lord, he will guide you, and you keep your eyes on him and in his word, drawn closer to him. So with that, guys, we'll see how it all plays out, right? I mean, again, I'm just telling you what I'm seeing. I get it. Things do need to happen because the internet is an evil place, and there's a lot of things that are not good. But given the government power where, they can then abuse it, sketches me out. Just my own personal opinion. But with that all being said, I love you all so much. God bless. Remember, the just shall live by faith.